Polite Enquiries, Old Trafford bubble. Matthew Oliver asks, do you think Sibley drives like he bats? You'd love to buy a second-hand car from him. Absolutely. No miles in that. Well, unless he just goes for days and days and days.
How long would it have taken him to get from Southampton to Manchester? He'd never have made it.
You know what would be funny? If we find out that Sibley is like a massive Formula One fan.
He's more likely to be a fan of lawn bowls.
Or maybe chess.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on the same wavelength.
Or a snooze. This was meant to be the launch day of the 100. The BBC should have been showing sixes raining down on central London. It should have been full of excitement and drama. Instead, they got Dom Sibley nudging one off his hip for a quick single about once every 2 hours.
I was gonna say, if even. Luca asks, now this one's a personal favorite of mine. He says, what is it about the bowling of Roston Chase that England finds so difficult? And is there any other bowler in history that sounds more like a village in East Lancashire? Now, I've never been to East Lancashire, so George, you've got to tell me, but it's true. I mean, I could feel like I could say, oh, where'd you live? 15 Roston Chase Avenue.
I think you could do that with a lot of West Indies cricketers. Where do you live? Nixon McLean. It's quite near Yeovil.
True.
Wrekin, Cornwall. It's a suburb somewhere in, I don't know, near Plymouth. I think he's quite clever. He bowls to his limitations, doesn't try and do anything particularly outrageous. He's a competent bowler.
That is an amazing analysis. This is why we pay George a big money.
The very, very medium dollars, yeah.
Mark Ridley says, is there a worse fielder in international cricket than Shannon Gabriel? Ouch.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
That's so hard.
He was very, very tired. I mean, he was basically sore and,
he's like Kingman.
Yeah, right. And he had given everything. I think he's generally okay. Generally, I think he's fine. So I wouldn't judge him too harshly on today.
Aaron J. Wood asks, are the West Indies paying the price for not shaking up their 11? So this, of course, is a question I asked you too, George. What do you think? I know everything in retrospect, but...
Yeah, but England did, didn't they? I think that's probably fair. But there might be a bit of a drop-off between the quality of some of the bowlers on this side and some of the support bowlers. When bowlers sometimes went off, looking really quite stiff and sore, you think we won't see them again, and then they come back and deliver another spell. So I think that's been a really, really tough ask, and it probably would have been smart to shake it up a bit more, yeah.
McAllister Riptide says, with Wokes and folks hanging around, how long until a Team England hunk calendar is produced, and what month? And what month will Ed Smith insist on for himself? First of all, you forgot George Dobell on this hunk calendar. Hulk calendar too, probably. Show me guns, George.
Only useful if you're trying to kickstart a vomit. That's the only thing, the only reason you want a picture of me. In terms of Ed, I think he would quite happily suggest that Joe Denley was there instead.
It would split half and half. So January to June, Denley. June to December, Buttler.
There'd be no Moeen Ali. No Johnny Best.
Sam Eastwood asks, extremely impressive innings from Buttler tonight against a tough opposition on a raging turner. Should keep him in the side for another year or two, right?
I mean, obviously that's sarcastic. Look, I cut Buttler quite a lot of slack here. He's come in a difficult position, asked to accelerate, and actually very selflessly lost his wicket trying to up the pace. So I've got no criticism for him at all. Yeah, I wouldn't be picking him, but I'm definitely not criticising him on this performance.
Innocent bystander, our good old mate right here. Why are England so loath to pick Sam Curran? He brings so much extra to the side than the sum of his considerable parts.
Do you know, I'm going to tell you a story about Inno instead. Inno came with me once to the beach in the Caribbean. I think it was in Barbados. And he came for a swim and remembered that he couldn't swim at the point where the water was really quite deep. That seems like an extraordinary thing to forget. That's a true story. I can see why they don't pick him. What is he? He's a fourth seamer, isn't he? Who are you going to leave out? I mean, the problem, is, and this is, the sort of in-depth analysis for which I get paid for medium dollars, is that you can only get 11 people in a team. So who are you leaving Now, as a swing bowler, you saying he should play in front of Jimmy Anderson? That's brave, cool. So I get why he struggles to get in the side. But you're right, he's a terrific cricketer. They all are.
Will Summers asks, should the England team purchase some hair clippers for the biosecure environment? That's a very good fact. Because have you noticed that Stuart Broad and Sam Curran are wearing headbands that are not keeping their hair out their face? I think it's the Karate Kid look. Maybe they're going for it. But you know what? You do notice one or two that needed trim. Joe Root, maybe.
Alexis, the thing is that I'm standing here looking so much like a potato that I live in constant fear of someone cutting me open and smearing me with butter.
Oh.
I really cannot criticise how they look. You won't laugh if you find out that overnight I've been baked, covered in salt, maybe a bit of tuna mayonnaise.
Some cheese.
I sound delicious, don't I?
On that note, it's a wrap.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.